Pro Gun Live. Today is Saturday, April 5th, 2005, and this is our weekly live stream. I'll give it a minute or so for people to join. I'd also like to thank all our viewers and subscribers. I have a bunch of reviews that I've done today, and I'll be releasing them very shortly. I finally got my hands on a Colt Grizzly, courtesy of my friend Danae, so I'll be reviewing that as well. Keep an eye out for our new reviews. I would also like to give a shout out to Jesse Sanchez and Road King 681 for being our top contributors for comments. I appreciate that. Comments really help the channel because the algorithm pushes the videos out to more people. I just received my new holster from Tucker Gun Leather after about 3 months, and I did a review on that. I'll be releasing that shortly, and I got to tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. That is the most gorgeous holster I've ever seen. So I want to give a thanks to Tucker Gun Leather for that. And again, I want to give a special thanks to Jesse Sanchez and Road King 681 for being our top contributors. I really appreciate the comments. I will be doing a giveaway today. I will be giving away this Vetter Everyday Carry Tray. And I think what I'll do is I'll give that carry tray to the person that leaves the most comments in the chat. And I live here in the great state of Tennessee, and we had a bunch of pro-gun bills that are advancing, and none of the anti-gun bills were passed. They all got defeated, so that's good news. I check my state gun laws very frequently, and I suggest that you do the same. Write your representatives if there's a gun bill that you do not want them to approve. The only way we can preserve our Second Amendment rights is to fight, and we do that every day. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining the live stream and for supporting our channel. Our channel has been growing over the past year. I still have quite a way to go. Daniel Sanders, what do I do if I'm a felon that cannot own a normal firearm? Well, I'm hoping that's going to change under the Trump administration, because if you read the Second Amendment does not specify that a felon can't own a gun. And I agree with you. If people did their time, they should be able to own a firearm. And again, for those who missed it, I want to give a special thanks to Jesse Sanchez and Road King 681 for being our top contributors. They left the most comments on our videos, so we appreciate that. I'll be giving away this Vetter everyday carry tray. I'll give it away at the end of the live stream to the person that leaves the most comments. This thing is great. I have a couple of these. It allows me to put my firearm and change and watch and wallet and all kinds of stuff in it without scratching my nightstand. So that'll be the giveaway. I have a bunch of items I'll be giving away over the course of the month. What I consider black powder for home defense. You know what? If that's all you got, I'd use it. And typical noob, hello, thanks for joining. Same thing with Mr. Extro. Any 357 Magnum. Well, I just got a Colt Viper that I did a review on. I didn't release it yet. And I'm also comparing it to the Colt Python. I'll be releasing that later on in the week, so keep checking back. Again, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate that. We're trying to grow, and the bigger the channel gets and the more revenue we generate, more firearms it allows us to purchase and review for you guys. And Mr. Extro, keep an eye out for those reviews. I just did the reviews today. I'll probably be pushing them out sometime next week. And as always, this live chat is for you guys. If there's any topics you want to discuss or debate, feel free to ask. Leave your comments in there. I'd like to give a shout out to everyone who's joined. It doesn't show me who joined. It only tells me the number of people. The only way I know who's here are people who leave comments. And like I said, at the end of this live stream, whoever leaves the most comments will get this Vetter Everyday Carry Tray. And I have giveaways I'll be doing throughout the month. I also have a Gerson firearm that I reviewed today. It's a tip-up firearm, which is very interesting. I've never seen any of those before. I'll be releasing that during the week as well. A couple other things I'll be doing. I've had a number of viewers notice that I review a lot of holsters, and I mean a lot of them. And they wanted me to do a review on my favorite holsters, so I will be releasing a review on that shortly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick my favorite inside and outside the waistband holster in leather and Kydex and give you my thoughts so that you don't make a mistake and go out and buy 50 different holsters like I did. And those who just joined recently, thanks for joining the Pro Gun live stream. I really appreciate that. Due to popular demand, we'll be doing these weekly from now on. It's good to engage with our viewers. I like the question and answer dialogue, and we're here because of you guys, so that's why we do it for you. And we appreciate all of you. If you haven't done so, please hit the subscribe button. If you like our videos, leave comments, share your videos with your friends. The YouTube algorithm makes the channel grow by pushing videos out to more people, and that's only done by comments and views. And again, like I was saying earlier, I'm happy to announce that none of the anti-gun bills in Tennessee passed. They were all defeated, and most of the pro-gun bills will now be advancing. Don't take your Second Amendment rights for granted. That could change with one election. And I currently check my state's gun bills on a monthly basis. If it's a gun bill that I strongly oppose, I write my representatives and tell them not to vote for it. And the only way you can protect your Second Amendment rights is to fight for them. So contact your representatives and join the NRA or Gun Owners of America, because every day they chip away at our Second Amendment rights. So I have the Smith & Wesson M&P folding pistol carbine in 9mm, and it's one of my favorite guns. I like it. It's a great truck gun, and it folds down to about 16 inches, so it's very easy to transport. And I'm a huge fan of 10mm, and of course, after I bought it in 9mm a year ago, last week they just came out with it in 10mm. So it looks like I'm going to wind up having to purchase that. I've also always wanted a 5.7, and Ruger now just came out with a 5.7 pistol. I saw it on sale at Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo for about $3.99. It's regularly $800. So I don't have one. If anyone has experience with a 5.7, I'd like to know your thoughts, because I just think it would be cool to have. I don't really want any more 9mm. I have 18 of them. I don't need any more of those. So I want something in a caliber I don't have. And again, welcome to all who just joined. I see we have new joiners here. I appreciate that. I'd also appreciate it if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. .75 caliber rifle for $900. What? Who's the manufacturer of that Jeeper 1969? I'm just curious. I'm not really a big rifle guy. I do have a few AR-15s. Nice. I built a 300 blackout pistol and a couple 5.56 pistols. I also have my Smith & Wesson AR-15, and I have a Remington bolt-action 308. I always wanted a 308, and I always wanted a bolt-action, so to get a 308 bolt-action gave me the best of both worlds. But even though I own rifles, I'm really a pistol guy. I'm an NRA instructor, but I only teach handgun classes, not rifle. I was thinking of getting a Creedmoor, but again, I really don't shoot rifles a lot to justify the expense. Those who just joined, I just got my hands on a Colt Viper 357 Magnum, and I did a review on that. I'll be releasing that during the week. I'm also going to compare that to the Colt Python, so keep an eye out for new videos. I should have a bunch of new videos that I'll be releasing next week, especially the review on my new holster from Tucker Gun Leather. Took 3.5 months to get, but it's finally here, and I'll tell you, that is the most beautiful holster I have ever seen. Took 3.5 months, and I got it for less than $150, but it's handmade and custom made. You pick the color, the leather, the stitching. It's just a phenomenal holster. It really is. I didn't buy a $1,500 Python to, carry it in a budget holster. And guys, if you have topics you'd like to discuss, or you have questions you'd like me to address, feel free to leave your comments. I'll be happy to answer them. That's why we do this. Sometimes, for some reason, people leave comments, and I don't know what the problem is, but I don't always get my YouTube notifications, even though they're turned on. So this is one of the best ways to ask questions, because I don't want it to appear that I'm ignoring questions. I just don't always get the comments for some reason. And it's a beautiful day out here today. Hopefully it'll be nice tomorrow. I'd really like to get to the gun range. I have a bunch of guns I haven't even fired yet that I want to fire. I just loaded 2,000 rounds of 357 Magnum last week. I want to take the Python out. I have the Ruger RXM. I have my Smith & Wesson FPC 9mm. And all my other guns that I haven't shot in a while. So hopefully I'll get to do that tomorrow. So for those of you who are here, I'd like to get your thoughts on what your favorite handgun is, or rifle. Either one doesn't matter. I normally have stuck with the same brand for a long time, and that's why I have a lot of Sig Sauers and a lot of Glocks, but I've been expanding my horizons and going to Springfields and Rugers, etc. I'm going to keep this live stream open until 1 o'clock. And like I said earlier, whoever leaves the most comments will win this Better Everyday Carry Tray. I have one of these. I love it. I keep it on my nightstand. I can keep my firearm, my wallet, my watch, change, everything like that on there without scratching the nightstand. All right, first FOD. What is my favorite gun? That's tough because I own a lot of them and I like them all. But I got to tell you, my favorite is my Colt Python Combat Elite. I just got that about a month ago. And, once you get past the $1,500 price tag, it's an awesome gun. And let me tell you, when you pull the trigger on that Python, it's like butter. And that's where the $1,500 goes. That is the smoothest trigger I have ever experienced in 50 years. And let me tell you, if you haven't had an opportunity to do so, I would highly recommend that you try out a Python. It's just an experience that I've never had before. I've never had a trigger that was that good. Yep, I got to tell you though, that Python, that trigger is so smooth, single or double action, especially double action. So I agree with you guys on that. What do I think of the staccatos? They're very well built. They're really cool guns. But if you've watched my videos, I'm just not a huge fan of the 9mm. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's an extremely capable round. But, a long time ago when I was a kid and my dad taught me to shoot, I learned how to shoot on a 45 long Colt and a 357 Magnum. So 9mm just seems like a step backwards. On my semi-automatic, my caliber of choice is 10mm and then 45 ACP. Yeah, and I agree with you. I only shoot mine in double action as well, even though I am old. It's just so silky smooth, it really doesn't matter. And welcome, Porter. I'm curious. How did you add a red dot to your Python? I didn't know that they made an optic plate for it. I have to say though, after taking a look at the Viper today, the Viper is a nice gun for concealed carry. I like it a lot. I mean, I like the Python better, but the Viper is also a nice gun. As a matter of fact, I'm carrying my Python right now. Um, like I said earlier, I just got my uh, holster in from Tucker Gun Leather, and the holster is for the Python. I will take a look at your channel there, MO Alchemist. I'm really curious about that. You're looking at the SIG Legion. I don't have any experience with the Legion. I don't own one. However, I do own a lot of 320s. Matter of fact, I got the 320 in 9mm. I liked it in so much, I got it in 45 ACP, and I got the P320 X10 in 10mm. And I will subscribe to your channel, Official Ammo Alchemist. Curious to see what you have there. YouTube keeps nuking them. Yeah, YouTube just does not like gun channels for some reason. And there's no rhyme or reason for what they do. I'll publish 5 videos of a firearm, and maybe 3 out of 5 that they don't approve for monetization, and I don't understand why. I'll make a note of that. Kablamo channel. Actually, I'll write it down. And after this live stream, I will go check out your channel and subscribe. Again, welcome to all our latest viewers. I appreciate that. Please subscribe to our channel. We're really trying hard to grow. My goal for the end of the year is 10,000 subscribers. I'm getting close to 6,000 now. I have a lot of videos out there. It just takes a long time to get subscribers, and you guys can watch as many of our videos as possible and leave comments. I'd appreciate that as well. YouTube algorithm pushes up the videos to more people based on comments and likes and shares. So the more revenue we generate, the more firearms and accessories we can purchase to review for you guys. And Porter, you have a channel too. Feel free to put your channel in the chat, and we'll take a look at that later. This live stream, like I said, it's for you guys. If you guys have a YouTube channel you want to promote or topics you want to discuss, and I appreciate that, Porter. And I'll check out your channel, and I'll subscribe to yours as well. Yeah, I got a strike from YouTube. I didn't know the policy on live streams, which is kind of stupid. So I can do a video on firearms and shooting firearms, and I was doing a live stream about a month ago, and I had a firearm in my hand, and they killed my live stream, and they gave me a strike. And that was just, I guess, my fault. I didn't know the rules on live streaming, but I thought that was a little harsh. And I know they do goofy stuff, because there's sometimes that I look at my channel analytics and my views drop, my subscribes drop, and there's no rhyme or reason for it. I can understand the number of subscribers dropping. Some people will go to a channel and they'll unsubscribe, but I don't understand how views or watch hours would drop back. All right, First FOD, I appreciate you stopping by. Sorry you got to leave for work, but that's okay. You have a great day as well. Thanks for joining our channel. I appreciate that. We'll be doing this every week. It's really hard to pick a time in the day. I try Saturdays, I try Sundays, I try noon, I try 4 o'clock. It just seems to be hit or miss. And now with the weather getting nicer, I'm sure less people are around, but we keep trying it anyway. But like I said, this is for you guys. I like to engage with my viewers. And thanks for subscribing there, Kablamo. I appreciate that a lot. No, Stitch 56, thanks for your comment. No, I have a lot of videos that I'm shooting the firearms, and that's okay. It was a live stream. And when you're doing a live stream, for some reason, you can't display or hold a firearm. And they will give you a strike, and like I said, they shut my stream down. You can have them on the table, but you can't touch it. You know what? That's probably true. I'm just a little paranoid because they spanked me once for it. So when I do my streams now, I try to make sure I don't even have a firearm in the room. Matter of fact, I'm dying to show you guys my new holster that I got for my Python. Matter of fact, I'm wearing it now with my Python in it, but I'm afraid to do it because I'm afraid they're going to kill my stream and give me another strike. Instagram Live. I have to try that Instagram Live. I post things out there every now and then. I tried Rumble. Rumble has not been too successful. I put videos out there, and it's very hard to get subscribers on it. Yeah, they just don't like a lot of gun-related things. I mean, what's really strange is that I have a video from a while back, and I'm at Bud's. I live in Tennessee, and I'm about a half an hour away from Bud's gun shop. And I was at Bud's gun shop, and I rented a fully automatic AR-15, and I was shooting it full auto, and YouTube let me upload it. But yet, I'll upload a video of an optic or even True Glow night sights, and they don't allow me to monetize it. I just don't understand the rhyme or reason for that. They don't like optics. They don't like sights, whether they're night sights or regular sights like that. I've done reviews on tools such as sight pushers, and they don't like that either. And the weird thing about it is there is no rhyme or reason. There's times I've uploaded a video and they refuse to monetize it, and I'll request a manual review, and the manual review will disapprove it. I'll delete the video, re-upload it, and request a manual review, and maybe I get like a different reviewer or something, because then sometimes they approve it. So I think it depends on maybe the political stance of whoever's reviewing it, but it's definitely not consistent. How do they even let you keep your channel with 15 plus strikes? I thought after 3 they just delete your channel. It's just bizarre that we're not hurting anybody. We're doing gun reviews and we're safe. We follow the gun laws and the rules of safety, and they don't like it. But then there's some stupid things that people do out there, like these challenges where people can get hurt or die from them, and those are okay. I just don't I just don't get the logic. I'm going to do is I'm going to put my email address in the chat, and you can send your comments there. And also, like I said, I'm going to be giving away this Vetter Everyday Carry Tray. So if that's something you want, send me an email with your shipping information, and I will randomly pick a winner and send it out. I'll announce the winner on the next stream. Again, I also wanted to give a shout out to Jesse Sanchez and Road King 681 for being our top contributors for comments. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's just bizarre the way they don't like it. Yeah, and the community standards is also a strange thing because who does that apply to? Apparently, there's a lot of other people out there that violates standards. There's YouTube pages out there where women practically naked that have subscriptions on their channel, and they don't bother them, but yet Second Amendment, they just don't support it. Yeah, the community standards does flip-flop, but I think it's even worse when it comes to firearms. They just don't like guns. To be honest with you, I'm surprised that they didn't even kill all of the gun channels as it is. They just really don't like what we do, and I don't understand it. It is our right to keep and bear arms. We're not bothering anybody. We're not promoting or enticing violence. We're not showing videos of violence, but yet, they won't monetize our videos, or they take them down. It's just bizarre. And I don't use foul language either, very rarely. And if I do, it's not truly vulgar. And even on that, from what I read, you're allowed to curse on your video as long as you don't do it within the first 30 seconds. I just try not to make a habit of it because I don't want to give them any more excuses to not monetize my videos. A beautiful day today. I'm allowed to shoot in my backyard in Tennessee. I wish my backyard was bigger because it would be great to have a berm back there, but I can't. So and I try to keep an eye out on gun laws and gun bills throughout the country. Like it's sad what's going on out there in Colorado. Like I said, I check my state gun laws every month just to see if there's any new bills that they're proposing. And fortunately, yesterday in Tennessee, none of the anti-gun bills were passed. Everyone was defeated, and all of the pro-gun bills will be advancing now. The one I'm really paying attention to is they're trying to pass a bill to allow the use of deadly force when protecting personal property, because we're not allowed to do that right now. So I'm really interested in how that works. They're also trying to lower the age from 21 to 18 to get a carrier permit. So that's a good thing. And another gun bill they're trying to pass here is um, to expand your enhanced carry permit beyond handguns to allow you to conceal carry, well, not conceal carry, but to allow you to carry long guns. In Tennessee, you can't walk around with a loaded AR-15. Um, the strange thing about it is that if you have an AR pistol, and based on the rules and regulations regarding AR pistol, where the barrel has to be less than 16 inches, you technically can walk around with an AR pistol and they can't bother you because it is considered a pistol. But if you're walking around and some screaming liberal sees you and calls the police and the cops come, it's probably not worth the hassle spending all afternoon in jail until they can sort it out. Because I'm sure that even a lot of the law enforcement officers don't even know the laws regarding AR pistols. Yeah, Tennessee is a great state for hunting. I don't hunt and I haven't yet. Um, Maybe when I retire I will. I always wanted to hunt wild boar. We don't need a permit to hunt coyotes because there's so many of them. In the woods across the street from me, we do have a lot of bobcats. So one of these days, I will try that. And we're allowed to use rifles in Tennessee, and we're allowed to use handguns for hunting as long as they're um, 38 caliber or higher. What the word? Welcome to the channel. And yep, you're lucky you moved into a good state. Tennessee does have the best gun laws. I'm sorry, Texas does have the best gun laws. But Tennessee is not far behind. Um, I moved to Tennessee from New Jersey, and my wife and I grew up there, and as kids, it was a great place to live. And then over the past 10 years, the liberals destroyed it. Governor Murphy destroyed that state. Um, I got a letter in the mail one day from my local police department telling me if I didn't surrender my high capacity magazines, I would become a Class C felon. That was the last straw. And we moved to Tennessee, and problem solved. We don't have any magazine restrictions here. And in New Jersey, it's impossible to get a carry permit. Um, in Tennessee, you don't need a permit to carry. They did in New Jersey was after the Bruin case in New York. New Jersey was afraid of getting sued, so they started issuing carry permits. But what they did was they came up with a list of so many places you couldn't carry. It's not worth the trouble. Can't carry within 1,000 feet of a park or a school, um, or at a parade or at any functions. There's hardly any places you could be in New Jersey that are not within 1,000 feet of a school or a park. So you're a law-abiding citizen today, and you cross the street and you're a criminal. So that's why we need national reciprocity. We can't have these individual states doing all of this bullshit stuff. Um, it just doesn't make any sense. Uh, it does not look like Tennessee is going to allow marijuana. I personally, I don't have a problem with people who use marijuana, but the problem with that is once you get a medicinal marijuana card, you probably won't be able to own or purchase firearms because one of the first questions that you get on the uh, NICS question when you go to buy a firearm is if you use marijuana. No, you can't have both. And the problem with the medicinal marijuana is Um, Even though it may be legal in your state um, to possess and smoke marijuana, it doesn't exempt you from your company rules. So if your company makes you piss in a cup and you piss dirty, you could still lose your job, even though it's not illegal to smoke marijuana. That's why I just have a problem with that. And welcome back, Porter. Appreciate that. Yeah, I agree. So, yeah, you could use alcohol, and this is the other stupid thing. So, people get killed in drunk driving accidents, right? And they don't ban alcohol and they don't ban cars, but yet every time there's a shooting, they want to ban guns. And hello there, OMG. Yeah, that's going to be a problem with that insurance. My understanding from my friends in New Jersey that are still there is that you have to get bonded in order to carry a firearm. You need like $1 million worth of liability insurance. They're just they're doing everything they possibly can to make it difficult. And you know, look at Illinois. Illinois has some of the strictest gun control laws in the country, but yet in Chicago on the 4th of July weekend, 100 and something people get shot. And I'm from New Jersey. You go to Newark or Camden, and, you know, the amount of people killed by guns from bad guys is staggering. And the problem is they can't control the bad guys. They already know that. So the only thing they can do is control the law abiding citizen. But what those dumbasses in politics don't realize is that the bad guys don't listen to gun laws. They're still going to have their illegal guns. They're still going to have their high capacity magazines. Yeah, Texas is a great state for firearms. I got to tell you. Um, I'm in Tennessee, and our laws are pretty good here too, but not as good as Texas. And we always have the liberals trying to push these stupid gun laws. Um, 2 years ago, I think it was, we no longer need a permit to carry in Tennessee, but yet um, the liberals now are trying to bring back the requirements of taking gun classes and qualifying on the range and things like that. It's just ridiculous. Fortunately, in Tennessee, the Republicans have control of the House or the Senate, so there's not really a lot of anti-gun bills that will ever get pushed through here. Yep, same here in Tennessee. There's no paperwork, no FFL, and there's no background check required for um, third-party sales. Um, the only stipulation is that you can't knowingly sell a gun to a felon. You're not required to do a background check, and if a felon happens to buy a gun from you, um, unless they flat out tell you that they're one, there's no way you would know, and you wouldn't be in trouble for it. Yeah, you should see what it was like in New Jersey. And even now, if you have a carry permit in New Jersey, my understanding is that you're not allowed to carry while you're in your car. And another thing is when you're driving through the state of New Jersey, you have to have your firearm and your ammo separated. They can't be in the same compartment. And they just keep making up more and more stupid stuff. The thing that blows my mind is that where are all of the gun owners at election time? They must not vote. Yeah, I agree with you. The problem with secondhand guns is that if I were to, I don't even know, being that there's no registration, I don't even know how they would know. I mean, what would happen if I sold you a gun with no paperwork, and then that gun was used in a murder? Um, how do you prove you didn't own it at the time? Yeah, we have a stupid law in the books in Tennessee where it is a crime to with to go with the intent of being armed, which is really stupid because um, if you don't need a permit to carry and you can carry a firearm, carrying a firearm is the intent to go armed. So it's stupid laws like that, and those laws are just convenient. If you get a sheriff one day that just doesn't like you, um, they could use that as an excuse. Well, more importantly, there's no paperwork. How do they prove you didn't do it? I mean, I guess if I were going to sell a gun, I would probably give them a receipt and make them sign it and keep the receipt just in case something does turn up. I would have proof that I sold the firearm. So I'm just curious. Any of you out there own a 5.7 pistol? I've always wanted one. Ruger just came out one that's pretty cheap right now. It's only $399. Um, and I just thought about getting one because that's one of the calibers I don't have. Yep, 10 milli for me too. 10 millimeter is my favorite caliber. If you've watched my videos, I normally carry the Sig P320 X10, and in the wintertime when I'm layered up, I carry the Glock 20. And now that 10 millimeter has made a comeback, um, there's a lot of 10 millimeter ammo available now. A year or so ago, I had a hard time finding 10 millimeter ammo out here, so I reloaded my own. So I have a boatload of 10 millimeter ammo. Yeah, I bought the Sig P320 X10 comp, and I like it, but I was a little disappointed because the whole point of the X10 comp was that the compensator was supposed to reduce recoil, and honestly, I think my Glock 20 recoils less than my SIG X10. There's very little recoil out of my Glock 20. Matter of fact, that's my wife's favorite gun, and my wife shoots that just as good as any guy does. And for reloading, I just started using high-tech coated lead bullets, and they're awesome. The high-tech coating is baked on, so it's not like regular lead bullets, so it doesn't smell and doesn't foul up your barrel or gum your barrel up, and I like it better than the copper bullets, and they're cheaper. Matter of fact, I just reloaded 2,000 rounds of 357 Magnum using the high-tech coated lead bullets for my Python. So that should hold me for a while. And I shoot them at all my guns. I don't have any problems. My Glocks, my Sig Sauers. The only gun I have that's very picky is my my Colt government model is real picky. It only likes ball ammo. I have a hard time shooting hollow points out of it. My Glocks and my SIGs pretty much eat anything I feed them. Ozzy Osbourne, if you're, what channel, whose channel are you talking about? This channel is Pro Gun 45. Again, thanks to everybody that joined. I appreciate that. We will be doing this once a week. I have a bunch of giveaways. Started out with our Vetter Everyday Carry tray today, and we'll be giving them away. I probably have enough stuff to give away for the next few weeks anyway. I wanted to get the Smith & Wesson M&P 10 millimeter. I'm just not a fan of the trigger on the Smith & Wesson M&P. I find that trigger like very gritty. So it's about 1:45 right now. We will end this live stream at 1 o'clock. Again, those who just joined, thanks for joining us. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Like our videos, share them with your friends, comment. The more our channel grows and the more revenue we generate, the more firearms and accessories we can review for you guys. Below average, you'd have that. I don't understand the comment about Kablamo in my YouTube timeout. Yep, I agree with you there, below average. We definitely need to stick together here. I don't look at it as that we compete with each other. We all do what we like doing, and to survive, we do need to stick together. Yeah, every day they change the rules. What was okay yesterday isn't okay today. And And it gets frustrating because, it takes a lot of time to put videos together. It costs a lot of money to buy firearms, and you go through all of that trouble, and then you see that they yanked our videos or um, gave us strikes or demonetized us. So yeah, I agree with you about the elitism. I mean, you know, I don't care what anyone else does. I don't think I'm better than anyone else. Um, I don't turn my nose up at anyone else. Um, people buy what they could afford. I mean, I don't make fun of a tourist. If that's all you have, that's fine. I do know a lot of gun owners that, the minute somebody mentions a tourist, they have to make comments and they embarrass them. I mean, everybody doesn't have the budget to go out and buy a $600-700 gun, and you know, if you only have a couple $100, and that's all you can get to defend yourself, that's fine. Yeah, and you do see there are some creators out there that bash other creators, and we're all in this together. I mean, we learn from each other, we share experience with each other. Um, I help out other new YouTubers that contact me and ask for advice, and um, I don't hold back information, worrying that their channel is going to grow bigger than mine. I do this because I love doing it. You know, I don't compete with anyone. If there's a million gun channels out there, none of them are my competitor as far as I'm concerned. I do this because I like it. I enjoy it, and it's fun. I don't do it to be bigger or better than somebody else. Yep, I agree with you. A gun is a gun, and it is a tool. And that I don't own any safe queens, and I know people that have a lot of guns in their safe that they never fire. Not only do I fire all of my guns, but I carry all of my guns from one time or another. Right now, I'm carrying my $1,500 Colt Python. I have a Colt government model. I have a lot of expensive guns. I don't freak out and start crying like a little girl because my gun got a scratch on it. I bought my guns to use. Um, you know, some people won't carry it in a holster because scratches, you know what? They're battle scars. And, you know, the people cry when the wrenches get scratches on them. I mean, they're just tools. And I agree, we are all collaborators. I mean, it would be cool if um, we could all get together and have like a live video with all of the gun creators all at the same time. Um, but I like sharing ideas with, offline with other YouTube creators to see what we can do to grow our channels and what we can do to help each other. But I know YouTube is doing goofy stuff with views because it doesn't make any sense. I'll do a review of like a Glock 20, and I'll do a review of a sight pusher tool, and my sight pusher tool will get more views than the Glock does. And welcome to MDEC. Yeah, Colorado is in trouble. And see, this is one of the reasons why we need to fight for our Second Amendment rights. Um, Not really a big fan of the NRA, even though I'm a member. Um, Wayne Pierre should have been fired years ago for all the money he stole. Um, but Gun Owners of America, I think, does even more than the NRA to preserve our rights. Um, and, you know, even though Tennessee is a gun friendly state, I don't take my gun rights for granted because, um, we're only one election away from everything changing. So even if your gun state is friendly, um, that could change in one election. I just wouldn't take them for granted. I go through my state's gun bills on a monthly basis, and if it's a gun bill that I don't agree with, I'll write my representative and tell them I strongly urge you not to vote on that bill. We have to. Um, if we just sit by and do nothing, we'll have no gun rights. I mean, that's what the government really wants. They want an unarmed society. And like I always say, the Second Amendment protects all the others. Yeah, I feel for you there, Ronald. I used to live in New Jersey before I moved to Tennessee, um, and New York is even worse. I think New York has like a 7 round capacity limit. Um, and I wasn't even aware. One day, my wife and I uh, were trying to go to a gun range, and it was Columbus Day, and they were all closed in New Jersey. So we went to a range in New York, and we walked in with our guns in the gun boxes, and the guy working in the gun store said, at the gun range, said to us, "Is that your car out there with the Jersey plates?" And we said, "Yeah." And he said, "There's New York State troopers here right now. I would just get in your car and leave because um, you'll get arrested for transporting a firearm over uh, state lines." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And you would think that they would learn from history. It's already proven that gun laws don't stop violent crime. And look at Illinois got the toughest gun laws in the country. It's not stopping violent crime over there. Well, you know what? New Jersey wasn't always bad. My wife and I grew up there, and it was actually a nice state to live in growing up. Matter of fact, when I was a kid, my dad used to have a carry permit, and then all of a sudden it turned liberal, and they took carry permits away from everybody. And um, buying a gun in New Jersey is like a nightmare. You have to apply for a permit to purchase the gun. That permit could take 6 months, and it's only good for 90 days, and you're only allowed to buy one gun with it. So during COVID, when you couldn't find your gun within 90 days and the permit expired, you had to apply all over again. It's just, I don't know. They just don't want you to have them. But that just goes back to what I was saying earlier, where don't get complacent with your gun laws. One election will change everything. Today's a free gun state. Next election comes and can't carry anymore. I mean, they know they can't control the guns. The bad guys are always going to have them. So all they could do is control us. But another thing that they're trying to do is controlling the ammo. Like they have this bullshit now where they add um, hazmat fee. Okay, so you find a good deal on powder and primers, and they charge you a $30 hazmat fee on a $25 bottle of powder. It's, you know, next thing the government will do is start controlling the brass in the primers so that we can't make our own ammo anymore. And that's why I load up as much ammo as I can while I can. Um, you don't start building the ark after it rains. That's why during COVID, I had a shitload of ammo. Yeah, the other problem you have too is you have credit card companies that um, they code the purchases that are gun purchases so that they can keep track of them. Um, revolvers are king. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I agree with you. Let's start saying politicians because um, there are politicians in both parties that are anti-gun. So to be fair, I agree. Oh, I'm sorry. So getting back to that. So um, using credit cards, they were coding transactions to keep track of who bought guns, and now I've had PayPal transactions canceled by PayPal for trying to purchase a firearm or uh, accessories with a PayPal account. And the sad part is that we have the right to keep and bear arms. We could legally purchase the gun, but yet you go to the gun store and you purchase it legally with a credit card, and they put a coating on it to keep track of who's buying firearms. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, nice and sunny here in Tennessee. It's high 80s now. It's going to be almost 90, I think, today. Lots of sunshine. I just did my share of reloading. Last weekend, I reloaded 2,000 rounds of 357. It took me forever. Um, I only have a single stage press. I have a RCBS rock chucker. It was given to me, which is why I use it. It's like 30 years old, works like brand new. Um, one of these days, I'm going to invest in a progressive press. Yeah, and revolvers are king. Yeah, that's fine that Arizona freedom is alive and well. But like I said, I still don't take my gun rights for granted. One election, everything could change. And look what happened in Colorado and Kentucky and North Carolina. Could happen anywhere. And it seems like the problem is that in both parties, there's no middle of the road anymore. Everybody is so extreme one way or another. There is just no more middle ground. Yeah, you know what? There's not many people that are friends to the firearm ownership. And it's just like this stupid stuff, right? Donald Trump is president of the United States, and now he's a felon, so he can't own a firearm. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And the Second Amendment does not state that a felon can't own a gun. The politicians made that up. It's like the ATF. The job of the ATF is not to just make up rules anytime they want. Their function is to enforce laws that already exist. And there's a lot of laws that already exist. The job of the ATF is not to invent new laws. That's the executive branch of government. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Hopefully, Kash Patel will do that. The other problem we have is we have a lot of Supreme Court justices that are really old. We need to get guys like Clarence Thomas and um, all the other old Supreme Court justices that are Second Amendment friendly and have them retire so that we can get like a 35, 40-year-old justice in there. And this way our gun laws will be protected for 40 years. Yeah, Ronald, that's a regret I have. A long time ago, um, when my son was born, um, I had a Dillon Squaredale B, and I got rid of it because my ex-wife didn't want guns and gunpowder and stuff in the house, and I got rid of it, and I really regret that because I got that for practically nothing, 30 years ago, and now they're, close to $1,000. Um, and I don't know, every time I go looking at a multi-stage press, I'm like, $1,000, I could buy a gun with that. Um, and my single stage rock chucker does work. Um, it is just time. But, the 2,000 rounds of 357 I reloaded probably took me 4 or 5 weekends, where I could have probably done it in two with a progressive press, but I don't know. All right, guys, it's 1 o'clock now. Unless somebody wants to ask a question or make a statement, I'm going to end the chat in a few minutes. I appreciate you all for joining our live stream, especially those who have subscribed to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, please do. Like and share our videos with as many people as you can. Watch as many of our videos as you can, because that's how we get monetized. So, again, thanks, MDEC. I appreciate that, and thank you for joining. Appreciate all of you. I did leave my email address in the chat earlier, so for anyone interested in the Better Everyday Carry dump tray, send me your shipping address, and I will pick a winner. I'll announce it on the next chat. Yep, you can do a sub request. I'm all for that. We all need to stick together. I don't look at it as we're competitors. We're collaborators. So, all right, guys, I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you all for joining. Have a blessed weekend.